This tutorial is for questions 1 and 2 on mile marker 1, practice 1, regarding equations of parallel lines. The first question of our practice is determine the slope of any line parallel to the line y equals 3/5 x minus 15. So there's really two things here. Is one, we need to be able to look at that equation and recognize what the slope is. So again, that equation is in what we call slope-intercept form, where m, the coefficient of x, represents the slope, and b, the constant, will represent the y-intercept. The other thing we need to keep in mind is that parallel lines have the same slope. So that actually makes this first question pretty easy. If we can identify the slope, in this case 3/5, that's going to be the answer to question 1, that any line must have that slope. Now, remember that x is not part of your slope. So you could say that m equals 3/5, or you could just answer the question with the fraction 3/5. Question 2 asks us to determine the equation of the line that's parallel to the same line that's in question 1 above. Where you want to be careful here is that you're going to use that same slope, and we also need to use our knowledge about y equals mx plus b. So what they do is they give us a point that's on this line. So we're told that we're looking for the equation of a line that has the slope that we've already identified in question 1, but that also passes through this point. So it can't just be any line. It has to have the correct y-intercept to cause it to pass through this point. But the good news here is that we already have an x and a y value, so this will actually be pretty easy to do algebraically. So if we look at our ordered pair, we already have a known x and a known y. And remember, ordered pairs are always x then y. So we can take this equation, y equals mx plus b, and substitute our known value of x and our known value of y, and then solve for b, because we also know our value of m. So let's do that. Our y value is -1. We said m is 3/5. We know what x is 15. And then we're going to add b to that, and we don't know what b is, but we're going to find out. All right, so now just following the order of operations, we're going to multiply 3/5 times 15. Now, if you don't like multiplying fractions, you can always use a calculator. You could do 3 divided by 5, then times 15, or 15 times 3 divided by 5, or even 15 divided by 5 times 3. If you're doing mental math, though, if you think, what is 1/5 of 15? Hopefully we know that is going to be the number 3. 3/5 then of 15 would be 3 3s, or the number 9. So we get 9, and then we still have our plus b, because we don't yet know what our y-intercept is. All right, now this is a simple one-step equation. We have 9 plus b. We want to get rid of the 9, so we could subtract 9 from both sides of our equation. -1 minus 9 is -10, and that's our value for b. Now, a common mistake is on the mile marker. So people will often write -10 as their answer, but going back, it's asking us for the entire equation. So we would want to write, going back to this original structure of our equation, y equals mx plus b, y equals, we know our slope is 3/5 from the problem above, 3/5 x plus -10, or y equals 3/5 x minus 10.